This is the weekend, everyone. This is the weekend where the points don't matter and it's all for fun. This is the 1UP All-Star Race weekend, and we're coming at you live with the 1UP All-Star Open. This is the transfer event where the top 2 drivers and the fan vote winner will celebrate transferring into the All-Star Race later this evening, while 20 drivers go home empty-handed, waiting for till next year. Alongside me in the booth today, welcoming him back, is Ryan Caggiano, and it's good to have you back, and it's definitely good to have you back for the All-Star Race. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of fun. What are you gonna expect to see with these drivers? There's no room for error. You've got to battle the entire race length to make sure you're in those top 2 spots by the end of this thing.
Yeah, that's really all that matters, and it's also good to be back. I can't miss the All-Star Race here. It's all about being that top 2. Anywhere else, doesn't matter. You're going back home. And in this track, it's Nazareth. It's going to be very tight, very hard to come, so you're going to try and hold your position well.
That's right, at Nazareth Speedway, where the passing is quite difficult and the racing surface worn out, but we're certainly glad to be here, and we can bring you the full starting lineup for the 1UP All-Star Open, set by qualifying earlier this evening. And Joshua Michaels has put his Toyota on pole position. He's in the best position possible to transfer into the All-Star race. He just barely missed it, transferring in the easy way by winning at Armory Digital Super Speedway last time a couple weeks ago. And alongside him, Andres Molina, a skilled road course driver. We'll see what he can do on the oval. He's had some promising runs on these types of tracks in the past. Looking back at the rest of the field, Nelson Reeves is up in third. J.Q. Halleck, Duke Ansack's up there as well. Zachary Fitzwater's been running strong. He got a pole at Armory Digital, but's had some wretched luck. Will that change here this afternoon?
I mean, you never know. It's all about the luck of the draw here. And with Fitzwater's case, he's had his highs, he's had his lows. Hopefully this will be a high for him.
And with that being said, the cars are lined up on the grid, and we're ready to bring you the All-Star Racing action. This is the 1UP All-Star Open from Nazareth Speedway. Stay tuned, the green flag is next. The pace car is already off, and it leaves us in the hands of Joshua Michaels and Andres Molina. The green flag is out, and the 1UP All-Star Open is underway, and Michaels gets a pretty good jump on the field, and he clears Molina coming out of the first bend. Going into turn 2, this is going to be an interesting section, because look at the lead Michaels has gotten already. Molina's in a bit of trouble, though. He's got Halleck, Antsack, and Reeves breathing down his neck for that second position.
Yeah, it's all about the top 2 positions, and right now, number 26 is just holding on firm, and especially how tight this track is, you want to just hold on.
Yeah, Michaels leads the first lap by about half a second over Molina, who starts to pull away from Halleck and Antsack now. So it looks like the top 2 have cemented themselves, as this race is only just getting started, so anything can still happen, but right now, the top 2 have settled themselves pretty nicely, and the rest of the pack, you can see, is still side by side, several rows deep, trying to make their way to the front, because that's what matters in this All-Star Open, is getting to the front and staying up front, so you can make your way into the main event.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're first or second, you're guaranteed in. Otherwise, you're just going to be praying that the fans like you. Absolutely.
And Michaels has lost a bit of his lead. Molina's closing the gap a little bit. This track is a lot like road course racing in the terms of heavy braking and some downshifting in the corners. So Molina should feel right at home here, even if all the turns are going left. This is still a good track for him, and he's proving it so far, running in the second position.
Yeah, and you can see he's slowly trying to gain on that 26 car on Michaels, but so far it's all about Michaels taking the lead right now.
And behind them, it's side by side for third between J.Q. Halleck and Nelson Reeves, the rookie out of the Kings Motorsports stable. There are 2 Kings Motorsports teams locked into the All-Star race, while 3 more are trying to race their way in. And right now, they're running second, third, and sixth. So they're doing quite a good job of running up front, but right now, it's only Molina that'll transfer in, along with Joshua Michaels.
Yeah, right now will be Molina and Michaels so far. It's the M&M show right now. But they're doing well, and they're showing off that they deserve to be part of the All-Star race.
Yeah, and Molina's actually closed the gap on Michaels in a big way. He's halved the lead. in the last lap or so. So Molina is closing in a big way. Question is, can Michaels persevere and hold him off, or will Molina get past him? Because both these drivers are looking for their first win in any one-up sanctioned event. So they're both trying to do their best to score a victory here and transfer into the All-Star race, because either way, they'll start deep in the field for the All-Star event, but just making it is the goal for these two drivers in these 26 and 71 Toyotas.
Yeah, and also think about the boost that it would give them winning a licensed event. They will have the feel that they can actually go on further into the season and possibly pick up a couple wins and maybe even make it to the playoffs. Because we got to look at that soon.
Yeah, that is true. Joshua Michaels and Andres Molina are both currently in playoff positions, but both have yet to win races. So it'll be interesting to see as we look back at the battle for third between Nelson Reeves in the 17, Duke Anzac in his one-off paint scheme in that 83, looking very, very nice in the Starfleet Toyota. And he's running in fourth now. He should have won a bunch of races this year. He should have won Atlanta. He should have won Texas. But they've all slipped from his grasp. Hopefully he can try and slice his way through the field, get past Molina, and maybe get into this All-Star event that he really should have been in from the beginning.
Well, we talk about before with Fitzwater highs and lows, but I think the most high and low person right now in this race so far is, like you said, the 83 car. He's had such an unlucky one. He deserved to be already in the All-Star race, but he's just missed it. And now he has to fight it out here.
That is true. This consolation event for all the non-locked-in cars, and Michaels and Molina are running in pretty solid formation right now. We're about a third of the way through the open already, and as long as these two can stay close together and pulling away from Reeves, Anzac, Halleck, Crown, and the rest, as long as they can keep this pace up, they'll be able to make the All-Star race in no time. But if you look back at Nelson Reeves and Duke Anzac, they appear to be closing the gap in just a little bit as they cross the stripe. It's marginal, the gap, as we saw some smoke and some debris coming off of the final corner. Looking back, I believe it was Riley Spurley Tube in the 76 that had some minor contact with the wall. You can see some damage to his rear end. He continues on in 23rd place. But right now, the focus is on the front of the field, where Michaels and Molina are running very close together indeed.
Yeah, exactly. They're running close together. They've been first and second throughout the entire race. And for Michaels himself, this would be huge if he can win this. Hopefully he can leapfrog it into the future season like we talked about.
Yeah, he was 5/1000ths of a second away from getting his maiden Superstar Series win at Armored Digital Super Speedway, but he lost out to his teammate Kyle Waters, who is now locked into the main event of the All-Star race. If that had just been reversed, Waters would have to have raced his way in through the open, and Michaels would have been locked into the All-Star race. So it's very, very tight, the eligibility for this race, but it makes it a lot of fun to try and race your way in and prove that you have what it takes to race among the series' best later this evening.
Yeah, exactly. Because in the All-Star race, it's the best of the best. There are no real, back of the pack people. These are the best of the best here. And that's what you love to see. Just the best of the best driving against each other on a simple track. Not many laps. It's not like an endurance race. And just beautiful driving like this.
Exactly. Flat out hardcore racing for no points are on the table. It's all for bragging rights and that sweet, sweet winner's prize at the end of the All-Star race. We'll see which of those 26 drivers will win it later on. But right now, it's Joshua Michaels and Andres Molina are in the two transfer spots by about a second over Nelson Reeves, who you can see in the back of the shot is gaining slowly. He's gaining a little bit of time at a time. So he needs to get past his teammate, Andres Molina, if he wants any hope of transferring into the All-Stars, which, as a rookie, would be very impressive indeed. He'd be the second rookie to transfer into the All-Stars, joining Kyle Waters.
Yeah, that would be amazing if that happened. What I would do, though, is I wouldn't actually try to pass Molina. I would try to help Molina and try to get past Michaels so that way you can have both the teammates do 1-2. But can that happen right now? He's a bit far away.
That is true, but he did gain 0.2 of a second on that last lap, so he is gaining some time. The question is, will it be enough as we approach half distance here in the 1-up open? We'll take the halfway lap this time by, and we're starting lap 17. We'll take the cross flags this time by, and just like that, the lead has closed up. Michaels and Molina are nose to tail right now, but passing is so difficult at this short track, so the question is, what can you do as a driver to force the other drivers in front of you into errors?
Just make sure that you're always bumper to bumper, making sure that they know that you are there. And maybe the pressure of that happening would make a slight mistake, and that will give you the opening to overtake. But you just got to keep the pressure on.
And speaking of pressure, here comes Nelson Reeves in the 17. He's closing in on the top two, and Duke Anzac behind him is also closing in. They've left JQ Howitt behind, so it looks like it'll be 4 cars battling for 2 spots here in this open event, as the top 4 power up the final corner to complete a lap there, lap 18, and it looks like, yeah, the top 4 are separated by about 1.25 seconds. So these 4 are gonna battle it out. All Toyotas, all battling for those 2 transfer spots. But keep in mind, even if you don't transfer in here, there's still that lingering hope that the fans will vote you in after this is all said and done. But it's a long shot, but you can always hope.
Yeah, you just gotta hope that the fans have liked you, that you've had a nice season, and the fans felt sorry for you. But right now, it's just all about praying that you get the top 2 and using your skill there. If not, you're praying that you have the charisma and the charm to be likable by the fans.
And don't look now, but Nelson Reeves has made this an interesting battle with Duke Anzac right behind him. This has made this a 4-car battle for the win with 14 laps to go. It's going to be very interesting to see which of these 4 cars will transfer in. Will it be Michaels, Molina, Reeves, or Anzac? Only time will tell. And it looks like, I don't know, anybody of these 4 would be deserving to make it in. They've all had great seasons so far. And as a matter of fact, 3 of these 4 are in the playoff positions right now. The only exception being Nelson Reeves being just outside of a playoff position, despite missing the season opening Pensacola 500. So all 4 of these drivers have had very good seasons, and it'd be a shame to see any of them miss out.
Yeah, I know, but that's fortunately, that is what the All-Star race is about. You've got such good drivers, and some of them are going to miss out, and unfortunately 2 of them, maybe 1 of them, if we're lucky with the fan vote, might miss out.
Yeah, these 4 have been battling it out for the last few laps, and we're closing in on 10 laps to go. We're at 12 to go now. So Michaels is starting to pull away a little bit, but Molina is under immense pressure from his teammate, who's trying to make his own way into the All-Star race. What I think these Kings Motorsports drivers want to do is they want to work together and get past Joshua Michaels so they can both lock themselves in and put 4 Kings Motorsports cars into the All-Star race. But the problem with that is Michaels is just pulling away slowly. He's got about 0.5 seconds lead on Molina, so this is going to be very close to see who transfers in and who goes home empty-handed.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since, at this point, do you want to try and overtake your teammate to try and claim that spot? Or do you want to try and work together to try and claim the top 2? It's going to be interesting, especially with these laps dwindling down. As
we cross the start-finish line, to take 10 laps to go in the open, and Molina is still about 0.5 second behind Michaels, so it's going to be very tough for them to get past, because if you got a bubble like Michaels has over the rest of the field, a big enough buffer, you can definitely hold it. The question is now, can Molina make a move to get past Michaels? And if he does, will Nelson Reeves follow him through the hole and secure both Kings Motorsports entries into the All-Star race?
I mean, you never know. It depends on the skill of Reeves. I don't question the skill of Reeves. Like you said, he's outside the playoff bubble right now. But it's just got to be teamwork and the timing. And right now, Michaels is not giving up that position anytime soon.
The lead has shrunk, though, so Molina will catch him a little bit each lap. But will it be enough, as we have now less than 10 to go? And as they cross the line to complete another lap, this is just going to be even more close for this battle for the top spot. We've yet to see any incident in this race, which is always good to see. You want to see solid green flag action, and honestly, if a caution were to come out right now, it would freeze the field and more than likely end the race. So these four, the top two, are kind of hoping for a yellow flag to end the race as soon as possible, so they can transfer in right away. But as for Reeves and Anzac, they really want to see this race stay green throughout, and they definitely want to catch Molina and Michaels, who are starting to pull away a little bit as the battle for third intensifies.
Yeah, exactly. Because, it's all about, like you said before, it's all about the top two position. And right now, Reeves and Anzac, sooner or later, might have to realize, okay, we got to work together, so maybe I could potentially get into second and try to screw the other one over. But right now, it's all about Molina and Michaels.
Yep, with 6 laps to go now in the 1-Up All-Star Open. Joshua Michaels holds a steady lead over Andres Molina, who in turn holds an even more steady lead over his teammate Nelson Reeves, who is the first car on the outside looking in. So he really needs to get a move on, and get a move on quickly if he wants to get around his teammate and make into the transfer spot with 5 laps to go in the Open.
Yeah, they're slowly running out of time, Reeves and Anzac. They gotta pull something out of their hats right now just to try to get something to play in that top 2 position. If not, then it's gonna go to the fans. And they gotta pray that the fans are liking them.
That is true, and Duke Anzac's making a move under Nelson Reeves. He's tired of waiting. Anzac moves up into the 3rd position. Now, the King's Motorsport strategy has failed them, so with a dwindling number of laps remaining, only 4 laps to go, the question is, can Anzac now catch Andres Molina to try and transfer into the All-Star race? Because he's had a phenomenal season so far, but it'll all be for naught, at least for the All-Star race, if he can't transfer his way in through this event.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is he needs to get to Molina, but with Reeves pushing behind him, he might be able to get him. But the problem is, time is not on his side right now. He's only got 3 laps to go. I don't know if he's going to do it.
It'll certainly take a lot of effort, but if there's anyone in this field who can make passes and make them decisively, it's that 83 cars. They come to 2 laps to go this time, with Andres Molina holding on desperately to that final transfer spot. Joshua Michaels looks like he's got the win in the bag with 2 laps to go. He's got over a 3/4 of a second lead over Andres Molina. Michaels looks like he can cruise on home to victory, but with Molina backing up the rest of the field, it's going to be really close between those 3 to see who makes it into the All-Star races. We're coming to the white flag this time.
Yeah, I mean, Michaels has done exceptionally. Led the race the entire way, pole position. He's going to be happy with how he's done. He might use this to build on for the later season. That's great. But it's really about that 2nd position. You got 3 drivers, 1 position. It's a close race. Hopefully, we'll see some action here. But it's going to be tight.
Coming down the backstretch for the final time, Joshua Michaels has this win in hand, and Joshua Michaels, as he rounds the final set of corners, coming off of turn 4 for the final time, Joshua Michaels will win the All-Star Open and make his way into the All-Star race, and Andres Molina will take 2nd place, and he will transfer in as well. Duke Anzac, 3rd place will just not be enough, even though he fought his heart out to get into this All-Star race. It'll have to wait for another year as he settles for 3rd. And even though you don't see him in the top 10 shot, Zachary Fitzwater, although he finished 11th in this race, he can celebrate as well because the fans have chosen him, and he will race in the All-Star race later this evening. Start from last. He will have a shot at the big prize later this evening.
I mean, even though Fitzwater didn't do that well, he should be somewhat happy that the fans really liked him. But to Molina and Michaels, congratulations on your top 2 finish. Hopefully they can do well in the All-Star race. This is where the big boys play now.
That is true, and we've got that All-Star race coming at you live later this evening, so look forward to seeing the rest of these to the best of the best of the 1UP Superstar Series, battling it out for the big prize at the end of the race. We hope you join us for that as well. From Ryan Caggiano and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Nazareth Speedway, only for a little while, because the All-Star Race and the fight for the big prize is next.